It had been maybe 4 or 5 years since I last painted. After I finished uni, my work was evolving about what others needed. I was working a lot with the community groups. That was good, but doing that for years and years made my personal style disappear. I did not give myself the opportunity to create, and I felt the lack of that because I was not expressing myself. And coming here, I really wanted to paint, because before I left for uni, I used to paint, but that was from a spiritual point of view and a healing point of view. So I was doing it for me, and I really enjoyed the space that I used to be in. So I was missing that, and I knew I wanted to include painting somewhere, but I just didn't know how. Coming here, I knew I was going to have a space to create, but it didn't click what exactly I was coming to do. I just knew I had the space and I had the right people around me. So I was looking forward to whatever I was going to create, and I did not feel under pressure. For me, it was like, let me just go and sit and just be in this space. And I think that process made me switch off what else was going on the other side and just kind of switch back on slowly. Newcastle was kind of somewhere away from everything I was doing. The nesting bit was very important, I think, because once I did, then I was happy to start, experimenting. I started with the words first. That's how I think. I don't think in long sentences. I think a single word can make sense. Every day I came in, I just kept on putting new words on the wall and writing different words that made sense on that day. So most of the days I would come in and then face the wall with the words and just look at them, see what they were telling me, because every word had a connection somewhere. The word calabash is like connection to a part of Africa, and it's just a bowl that itself symbolized food. So you drink porridge from that, drink water. They can give you like a mixture of beans and maize, like kind of, it's a meal. It's a plate, it's a cup, it's everything. It just came to mind, and it's not like it was important before. It just was. It was meant to be part of this work. After looking at the words, I wanted it to evolve into something else. Color's really been very important in my work. I started putting swashes of color, and then I would connect the words and the colors that I felt that were drawn together. Almost like two different ways of expressing a personality, and that was just an instinctual thing. And now I have a relationship between the words and the color. I need to find a way of painting using these words in a way that would convey a message. The process is still evolving. At the same time, I was just thinking of creating a world that has got these words and the colors, but I needed something that is 3D to continue the language I'm trying to make. It's almost like the way I see the world. If I am painting, then I am putting myself into that work. But I felt like those little figures, I could identify maybe the people that I know or myself. If I channel and say, okay, this is about this particular person, I would channel how I see them. But that's for me and not for whoever is saying the work. So those little figures, I needed them to look as organic as possible. There's a light in the studio, and I worked with that in mind. I felt like the light itself was kind of a spotlight. I was thinking maybe that light could be the color. But then I was thinking, what's the light? The light needed personality. And then the little creatures evolved to where it is now. I'm still playing around with different materials. At the moment, I'm really enjoying them without the heads, because it could be anything. I'm trying to find a way of them expressing the words and the colors. Once I figure out how the figure would look, that could evolve into print. So when I am finished with forming the language, I will be able to create work that evolves from that. And I feel like it's just the beginning of a bigger project. This is like my way of forming the language I can bring to the table and say, okay, I can do this and this is how I want to express it. Or collaborate with somebody who speaks in the same language and then we see what we can create. I would love to have access to different residencies or different artists. I feel like this is more nurturing for my work. Explaining about the work that I'm doing to so many different people has helped me cement the ideas as well. I feel like I have my sense of purpose. I have it back. I feel it more. I have this work that I'm doing that is mine. It's really, really mine. And the joy itself, just thinking of it as mine, and it's a new type of work. I've not done that before. And the fact that I have the studio is a space for me to freely express myself without any expectations. And that is a joy. It's healed that part that was missing before. And the way that the work has evolved has happened in a healing way. This work has to continue, so I have to make the space for it to continue. I'm ready to fight for it. That's the thing. I'm ready to fight for this work. So it's not going to just disappear. And it's a good feeling.